Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube. Kevin Rogers and Brian Edwards with you as we take a look at college football SEC action this Saturday. We got a couple big matchups, including the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn, and one of the big names in that game won't be there. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes as we take a look at Brian's record so far on the season. Coming off a 1-2 Saturday, still at 18-10, hitting 64%. As he nailed the over in the Alabama-Kentucky game. I guess the over was nailed by Alabama on that one as they dropped 62 on Kentucky. And now we look forward to the final Saturday in November with Brian Edwards. And Brian, we will begin with a noon kickoff, Florida and Kentucky. Kyle Trask right now the favorite to win the Heisman, and we'll see if he can keep it up against the Kentucky offense that has struggled mightily.
Yeah, they have, but they had first and goal in the first half against Alabama 3 times last week, and they only came away with 3 points. They had a bad snap on one field goal attempt. They missed another field goal. But, I mean, for a 63-3 beatdown, that game was pretty much even in the first half, other than Kentucky's just red zone inefficiency. And Florida's defense continues to struggle. So I think Kentucky first off, Kentucky has a really good offensive line. Now, their leading running back, Chris Rodriguez, is out. But they've got Kavosi Smoke and A.J. Rose, so they're pretty deep at running back. And, look, Florida, the over is 5-2 overall for the Gators, 2-1 in their home games. They're 9th in the nation in total offense, 2nd in passing yards, 8th in scoring, a 44.7 points per game average. Their combined scores average 72.8 points per game. And Kyle Pitts is back, and that is huge. And like you said, Trask, the Heisman favorite, with a sensational 31-3 TD-INT ratio. So I think Florida puts up a lot of points, and their defense will give up some to Kentucky as well, like at over 61.
And to take a look now at our second pick, rescheduled game, as Vanderbilt was supposed to play Tennessee. Arkansas was supposed to play Missouri, but those games aren't happening. So instead, we end up with Missouri and Vanderbilt hooking up at Faurot Field in Columbia, Missouri. And the Tigers a heavy favorite here. Missouri's had some success at home. They beat Kentucky, and they also knocked off LSU, but Missouri laying over 2 touchdowns here, Brian, against the Vanderbilt team, still looking for its first win.
Yeah, so Missouri had their first favorite role last week, and they barely cover in a 17-10 win at South Carolina. And South Carolina had 3 of its best defensive players opt out last week, and Shi Smith, their best wide receiver by far, he got a concussion in the first half. I think it was even the first quarter. And yet Missouri only won 17-10, and so they have not been a double-digit favorite all year, and in fact, their last 9 as a double-digit favorite against SEC foes. They are 2-7 against the spread with 2 outright losses. Now, Vandy is winless, but they have covered 3 in a row, and they're still playing hard for Derek Mason, trying to save his job. And this true freshman quarterback that he has stuck with through his early season struggles, Ken Seals, is really starting to come of age in the last month. He's thrown for 319 yards or more in 3 of the last 4 games. And if we discount his 1-3 TD-INT ratio at Mississippi State, in the last 4 games other than that, he's got a 7-2 TD-INT ratio. His young receivers are starting to play well. Cam Johnson, Amir Abdur-Rahman. They've got the senior Chris Pierce as well. And Keon Brooks, their running back, he missed the Florida game with bruised ribs, but he is back this week. He has had back-to-back 100-plus yard rushing efforts. And again, Vandy has covered 3 in a row, and they have covered those games by 35.5 combined points toward the closing line. So I'm going to go with Vandy catching the big number at Mizzou, plus 15.5. There's even a 16 left as we record here on Wednesday.
And to take a look at the final contest in the SEC on Saturday, it's the Iron Bowl in Tuscaloosa between Alabama and Auburn. The Crimson Tide, a heavy favorite at home, and the Crimson Tide will be without their head coach, Nick Saban, after a COVID situation midweek. So we'll see what Alabama can do here, looking to continue to secure a spot in the college football playoff and stay undefeated, while Auburn here, a tough test definitely for them as this heavy of a dog, Brian.
Yeah, so the reports are that Saban does have symptoms, and he's definitely out. So this is not a false positive like last time. I was told, and I know quite a few people pretty close to the Alabama program. I was told in like late July, early August that more than 60 players had already had COVID. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't recall one Bama player missing a game this year because of COVID. So I only point that out because when Sam Pittman got COVID the other week, now we've seen an outbreak with Arkansas, and they're not playing because of that this week. I don't think we're going to find out that other Bama players have COVID. So just because most of them have already had it. So that's why I point that out. So I'm not, with Saban getting this on Wednesday, I would normally be concerned, we might have some Bama players missing this week. I don't really have that concern. I mean, I'm not betting Bama anyway. I'm betting the over 62. And, Sark's going to be calling plays. I imagine he'll get the interim gig, and I think they'll be fine. They average 49.4 points per game. The over's 5-2 overall for Bama, 3-1 in its home games. The last two scores in this rivalry, 48-45 for 93 combined and 52-21 for 73 combined. Mac Jones has an 18-3 TDI and T ratio. Najee Harris, 16 rushing touchdowns. And Tank Bigsby is questionable for Auburn, so we may see them pass the ball more. And they've got three big-time playmakers at receiver, and Eli Stove, Anthony Schwartz, and Seth Williams. So I'll go over 62 for the Iron Bowl.
So to review our picks for the Saturday SEC slate, Brian has the over between the Gators and Kentucky of 61, Vanderbilt plus 15.5 at Missouri, and the over of 62 in the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Vegas Insider. Also, Brian has picks for Friday's games inside of college football. It's a pretty nice slate, and Brian's got a couple of selections for that. So keep an eye on that on our Vegas Insider channel on YouTube. For Brian Edwards, I'm Kevin Rogers. Thanks for watching, and best of luck with your bets.